Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment's 32 teams, 32 days, and today we are talking about the Oakland Raiders, the team that exploded onto the scene last season in the NFL, finishing with a record of 12-4, but unfortunately exiting pretty ugly in the playoffs thanks to an injury to Derek Carr, but he's healthy, he's back. What will the Raiders do this season? We're going to discuss it, look at this team's strengths, weaknesses, give you a fantasy outlook for this team, give you some bold predictions for this team, and end this video with a win-loss prediction for the Oakland Raiders. Remember to head over to sportsfanentertainment.com for the article previewing the Raiders. The link to this article will be down in the description box below. So we're talking Oakland Raiders today. We're talking strengths. We're going to start at the quarterback position with Derek Carr, man. This guy, after a rookie year that was pretty stressful, pretty disappointing. He didn't do that bad, but the team certainly did. Derek Carr has exploded, man. His second year was really good. His third year was even better. 28 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. And, man, he looked like a true MVP candidate last season. He was really superb. And although he did suffer an injury, I expect more of the same from Derek Carr this upcoming season. I can't wait to see what he does this year. How about the offensive line in Oakland? Let's start with the left tackle position. Donald Penn, whom you signed formerly of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a number of years ago. He's been a good left tackle for you, and I expect more of the same, although he's not currently happy with his contract. Kelechi Osemele at the left guard position, whom you also signed from another team. You guys got him from the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know what they were thinking. And again, we have another free agent signing in Rodney Hudson, former Kansas City Chiefs at the center position. You guys built almost half your team through free agency, but hey, this is why I argue some more teams should do that, because look, it's kind of working for y'all. He's a very good center in the NFL, top 5 center in the NFL. Gotta love Rodney Hudson. Gabe Jackson. Okay, you actually drafted this guy at right guard, and right tackle right now should be Marshall Newhouse, who is a good pass blocker, not a great run blocker, but for this pass-heavy team, we will certainly take that. Gotta love the offensive line in Oakland. It's one of the top 5 offensive lines in the NFL. Look at the wide receiver position as a strength for this football team. Start with the number 1 wide receiver, Amari Cooper. Now, come on, guys. Some people say this guy is overrated. He's not very good. Hello, 2 1,000-yard plus years in the NFL. His first 2 years, he's been fantastic thus far. Yes, he's not Odell Beckham, but damn it, he's good. I've been more than pleased with Amari Cooper in the NFL thus far, and I expect him to get even better as time moves on. Remember, people, he's only 23 years old, came out at 21 years old. He still has plenty of years left in him. Michael Crabtree, another free agent signing, former free agent signing, formerly of the 49ers, man. He's come in here. He's been such a good, reliable red zone target for this team. He continues to catch the ball well. Gotta love Michael Crabtree at the wide receiver position for the Oakland Raiders. How about Cordero Patterson, whom you signed from the other Minnesota Vikings? Now, he's not a great wide receiver, but as a number 3 or number 4 option, he's fine, and he's also bringing a lot in terms of the special teams game. Of course, he's one of the best, if not the best, returners in the NFL, man. This guy's fantastic. Seth Roberts also at this wide receiver position. There's good depth here, and there's good starters here at the wide receiver position in Oakland. Look at the weaknesses for this football team. To me, we must start with the inside linebackers. I didn't like them last year. I didn't like them the year before that, and I still don't like them now. Ben Heaney. I don't know why I keep having this conversation with Raider fans. For some reason, they love this guy. Look, he's okay against the run, but he's awful in coverage. I never see anything extracurricular or anything exciting from Ben Heaney. I don't care for this guy. Corey James, same thing. Jelani Jenkins, formerly of the Miami Dolphins. This guy's not good, dude. Trust me on that. This guy is not good at all. I am not impressed with the inside linebackers in Oakland. I was really shocked when they did not select a high inside linebacker in this year's draft. I don't know what they were thinking, but whatever. We're going to live with a bunch of safeties and cornerbacks. But it's okay, because we do need help there anyway. Look at the next weakness for this football team, and we go to the defensive line, where again we have some underwhelming pieces here, although to me it's better than the inside linebackers. Okay, so we currently have Justin Ellis, who is fine. I mean, he's not great, but he's fine at this defensive tackle position. Jihad Ward, whom you took last year, is currently nursing some injuries, and last year really didn't do much. Mario Edwards, I expected more from him last year. He battled with injuries, barely played. I want to see what he can do this upcoming year. But you guys did draft Eddie Vanderdoes, okay, out of UCLA. This guy looks like he's going to start for this team. I'm intrigued by this guy. Let's see what he can do. But for right now, this defensive line is definitely a weakness for the Oakland Raiders. Remember that Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvin stand up most of the time, although they can definitely go down to the defensive line. There are more linebackers in this scheme, whereas these are the true 3-4 defensive linemen for the Oakland Raiders. With that said, let's talk about the positions that are neither strengths nor weaknesses. And let's start with the tight ends. Some of you may like Jared Cook. I don't. Look, he had a great catch against the Green Bay Packers, for the Green Bay Packers against the Dallas Cowboys. Dude, he has 300 receiving yards last year in 10 games with Aaron freaking Rodgers, okay? Rodgers throws for 4,500 passing yards, okay? So if Cook would have played 16 games, he would have ended up with 500 receiving yards, a ninth of Aaron Rodgers' market share. So if Derek Carr throws the same amount of passes as Jared Cook and he ends up with a ninth of Derek Carr's passing market share, he's going to come down with what, 450 yards, 400 yards? That's not that impressive, man. This guy continues to underwhelm to me. He can make a big highlight play, but he's not very good on a consistent basis, on a play-to-play basis. I don't trust this guy's hands most of the time. I don't trust his route running. I don't really care for Jared Cook. Clive Wofford, I expected this guy to take a step forward, man. Formerly out of Miami. This guy, it was encouraging to me when he came out in the draft, but hasn't really taken a step forward. This tight end position could have even been a weakness, but to me, it's only okay. Running backs, this may shock you. I know we have the return of Marshawn Lynch, but I don't know. I'm not hearing great things out of training camp. I mean, he's had the occasional beast mode play, but he doesn't look that explosive right now. He's getting older, as we know. He said the entire last year, not great. I'm not that encouraged by Marshawn Lynch, but I do like the backups in Jalen Richard and DeAndre Washington. I do like those backups there in Oakland. You look at the next position for this Oakland Raiders team. How about their safeties? Okay, Reggie Nelson and Carl Joseph. Carl Joseph had a nice rookie year. Can't wait to see if he can develop. Hey, remember, Landon Collins had a very similar rookie year to Carl Joseph in terms of production, then turned out to be a Pro Bowler the next year. A similar leap could happen for Carl Joseph. And Reggie Nelson's getting older, but he played decent last year. I expect more of the same. Cornerbacks, becoming a little more shaky lately. Sean Smith arrested for a felonious assault charge. I wrote about this on sportsfanentertainment.com. Go check out that article. So he currently may not play for this team right now. Right now they haven't commented on the situation, but I'm not expecting them to bring him back. And even if they do, the NFL might suspend him. We can't rely upon him this year, right? So David Amerson, TJ Carey, they're going to start. We have Garyon Conley, whom we drafted in the first round, but currently he's nursing injuries, has yet to play in training camp. The cornerbacks are fine, but right now you can't love the status of them, with Sean Smith probably not going to play and Garyon Conley nursing injuries. They also have Dexter McDonald and Antonio Hamilton as backups to those guys. So with that said, we look at my fantasy projections for the Oakland Raiders. Derek Carr, 4,300 passing yards, 33 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. A very good year for Derek Carr. And, I could have predicted an explosion here for Carr, like 40 touchdowns. It's possible, but I just felt comfortable being safe today. Look at Marshawn Lynch. Not great numbers here. 180 carries, 740 yards to 5 touchdowns. So about 4 yards a carry. I think he's going to get a good number of touchdowns, a good number of touchdowns to yard ratio, I guess. But I mean, I'm just not that encouraged by Marshawn Lynch right now. I think they're going to give carries to DeAndre Washington and Jalen Richard. I really do. And wide receiver Amari Cooper, I think he takes yet another step forward. Y'all keep sleeping on Amari Cooper all y'all want. I think this guy's good. He's young. He's going to continue to improve. I have him down for 90 catches, 1,250 yards, and 8 touchdowns. I want to see his touchdown numbers go up. I want to see him be more reliable in the red zone, be more of a red zone target. He only had 5 touchdowns rookie year, 6 touchdowns the next. I want more touchdowns, but Right now, this would be great numbers for a third-year player that's currently 23 years old. People, he's 23 years old. Look at some bold predictions for this football team. Again, Marshawn Lynch doesn't make a great impact. Again, I think he'll be fine, but if you're expecting him to be the Marshawn Lynch that carried the Seattle Seahawks to a Super Bowl and almost carried them to another Super Bowl victory if they would have just ran it to him, then, you're going to be disappointed to me. If you're expecting an okay running back, then you're going to be fine. Number 2, we have another disappointment. I think Jared Cook disappoints for the Oakland Raiders. Again, it depends on what your expectations are, but I'm seeing some people saying, oh, he's going to get 600-700 receiving yards, and I don't see that. I see 500, 550 max for Jared Cook. And final bold prediction, the Raiders finish 1-4 this season. The last 4 games are brutal. Even the last 7 games are brutal, but I just wanted to focus on the last 5 because they're all in December. They host the New York Giants, brutal game. They go to Kansas City, where they cannot win lately. They host the Dallas Cowboys with Ezekiel Elliott, most likely. They're going to be hungry, wanting to win on Sunday Night Football. They travel to Philly. I really like Philly this year. And they travel to LA to close out the year, where they can win, certainly, but this will not be an easy task. I think they go 1-4 here. I mean, the most likely win might be LA, because I think we're looking at 10 plus win teams all around, except for maybe Dallas goes 9-7, but that's only because Zeke is out for the first 6 games. With Zeke, they're really like an 11 win team in disguise, right? So it's dangerous to me. I see 1-4 for the Oakland Raiders in December. We look at my win-loss predictions for this football team. Let's first look at the schedule, though. Okay, again, you guys are in the AFC West. So last year, you guys got swept by the Chiefs, but you guys were able to sweep the LA Chargers, at the time San Diego Chargers, and you split with the Denver Broncos. Now this year, I think it splits all around. I think the Chargers are better, slightly, but I think they're better, and they should be healthier than they were last season, for God's sake. I think you guys are now closer to the Chiefs, and really last year, you guys should have probably beat them at least once. The games weren't that close, I understand that. But, I mean, come on. You guys were so talented last year. I can't believe you didn't do it. I think you guys course correct that this year. So, I think it's a split with them. And the Broncos, I think they're the worst of the AFC West right now, especially with the quarterback situation in training camp and preseason. But I think it's safe to say a split there. So, I feel comfortable saying 3-3 against the AFC West. Look at the other divisions. You guys also go up against the AFC East. Okay, this is good news. And you host the New England Patriots. This is the best news. Okay, because you can upset them to me. And right now, that's what I have happening. It's after a bye week for the Raiders. I think they make a huge impact, a huge statement game here, saying we can beat New England, and they get it done in Oakland. We'll see what happens, but this is what I currently have. You guys go to Buffalo and to Miami. Not easy contests. Okay, the Buffalo matchup is at the end of October. It won't be too cold. I think you can get it done. And a trip to Miami is cross country. So I'm going to say you split these games. I'm not sure which one you're going to win. I would predict probably Buffalo, because I think Buffalo is worse in general. But you guys could sweep here as well. I think it's safer to say, though, a split there. And I think you guys beat the Jets when you host the Jets. The Jets stink, okay? They stink. Okay, you guys also go up against the NFC East, which again is problematic. Again, you host the Giants, you host the Cowboys, you go to Philly in December, all those matchups in December. You guys go to Washington in week 3, and I know people are looking at Washington right now. They're not that excited. Look, Washington is a very similar team to you, okay? I know Derek Carr is better than Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins threw for 5,000 yards last season, damn near. I mean, this guy's dangerous. They got weapons all over the place. Their defense is getting better. Look out for this. I think it's an L, man. I think Washington, although, here's the one argument against it, okay? And why I could buy you guys winning this game. And I may even change my prediction now that I think about it. The Redskins stink on primetime games, okay? They do choke. Okay, so maybe you guys win that game, actually. We'll see. I think that one's 50-50. And then you guys, for the other matchups, at Philly, I think is an L. And I think you'll probably split with the Giants or Cowboys. So I'm going to say maybe 1-3 against this division. But, I'll say 2-2. I feel like 2-2 is probably safer because the Raiders could pull through in one of these games that would be really close. So I'll say maybe you beat Washington and you beat the Giants or the Cowboys or something like that. Okay. And you guys also go up against the teams that finished concurrently with you in the AFC. This means that you go to Tennessee week 1. And it also means that you host the Baltimore Ravens in week 5. I think you lose to the Titans. Now, I'm a Titans fan. I got to preface my comments by saying that. But I think the Titans right now are right at your level, and you travel to Tennessee. And although you've beaten them the past couple years, I think they're ready to change that. They're really healthy right now. Although they struggled in their first preseason game, I don't put too much into that. I think you guys lose week 1. Okay, week 1. But again, I think you guys do beat the Ravens. So my win-loss predictions for this Oakland Raiders team. Now, I gotta preface my comments by saying this. So I know I just counted about 6 losses here, and I'll tell you right now, I'm predicting 10-6 for this team. But it could easily be 12-4 or even 13-3. Best case scenario is 13-3 to me. The thing about the Raiders last year, if there was a close game, the Raiders won it. Okay, that week 1 game where they got the 2-point conversion against the New Orleans Saints. Or, the other multiple contests that they had when they won these close games. If it was a close game, the Raiders won it. They won all games within 7 or less points outside of one game, which was week 2 against the Falcons. Other than that, if it was a close game, 7 points or less, the Raiders won. Can they continue that trend? I don't know. Teams in the NFL like the Patriots and these perennial, playoff teams like the Seahawks, and now those are like the only perennial playoff teams in the NFL nowadays. And Steelers too, to a certain extent. Ravens used to be. They win those games every year. I want the Raiders to prove to me that they're one of those teams, that they are the New England Patriots, to where if they're in a close game, they're going to win it. That's their move. That's their thing, right? I can't buy quite yet. Because I remember back in 2015, the Raiders lost a couple of close games, and we all used that to say, okay, now next year they're going to win more of those, and then they won all of those. So I feel like the answer is going to be somewhere in the middle, and my prediction is 10-6. Now, worst case scenario is 8-8, because this schedule is decently difficult. The AFC East is not bad. The NFC East is. The AFC West is pretty difficult, and the Titans and the Ravens are decently difficult. So it's a pretty difficult schedule. 8-8 to me is the worst case scenario, but 13-3 is the best case scenario, and my prediction is 10-6. Now, this will get you in the playoffs. I do think this will get you in the playoffs. Now, the AFC West, I was, debating between you guys or the Chiefs back when I made the Chiefs video. But after looking at the Raiders, I think I trust the Chiefs more right now. They just have a lot of talent defensively, and that provides a very clear baseline. For your guys' offense is very good. You can pretty much trust it, but I just want to see it again. And then the Chiefs, they ended up winning it last year. They still have momentum from that. So I'm going to trust the Chiefs. But again, I would not be surprised if the Raiders win the division. But regardless, I think the Raiders make the playoffs. And you'll look at this 10-6 team and you'll say, yeah, that's a Super Bowl contender, that 10-6 team. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Oakland Raiders. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment. And I'm out. See you all later.